I think we're live. I think we're live. Fuck it, let's do it live.
In the dark shadows, in the white cold, fearlessly we search for knowledge new and old. We drink the strong spirits and read the ancient tomes. The order of the Abracast. We are the brave and the bold. The Abracast. Occult, history, conspiracy, and violence.
Hey, god damn it. Sorry about that. Hey, I'm John. This is the Evercast. How's everybody doing? I want to give a shout out to my boy Tim. Hey, Tim. Tim's on the chat. Tim, if you have any questions, fire away. If you have anything to say, fire away. So we are working our way through Nietzsche's magnum opus called Thus Spake Zarathustra. And we're kind of on our way through the first part, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, first part. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I don't know what that is. I don't know. There's no words on there. Have you guys ever heard that Bill O'Reilly thing when he was on like Inside Edition or whatever it is, and he gets real pissed off at the fucking teleprompter guy and he freaks out and he's like, "Fuck it, we'll do it live." Well, people have taken it and they made it into house beats, like fucking what do they call? What do the kids call them? The bass drops or whatever. Like they made like club music into it, and they spliced them into songs. And fuck it, we'll do it live. You guys might not even know who Bill O'Reilly is. I don't know. Anyhow, I've been meaning to get that clip to play at the beginning of the live episodes, so I don't have to do it, myself. Why? I mean, he did it better than I could ever do it. So, we're going through these speeches of their Zarathustra, and we're just gonna pick up here. Where'd we leave off? I'm trying to multitask, so I'm doing like 12 different things at one time. So hang on. I haven't, I'm still kind of new to these live things. So hold on. I gotta get background music. While I'm doing this. Sorry about that. Here we go. I just gotta grab this one thing real quick. There we go. All right, I'm gonna turn this background music off. So, okay. So the first speech we're gonna be doing tonight is, it's called "On the Flies of the Marketplace." And I've stopped trying to figure out what these are going to be about just by reading the title. I got burned real hard with the 3 metamorphoses. I don't know if you guys remember. That was way back in, I think, the 4th live episode. Well, I went off on this wild speculation about what I thought it was going to be. And then I read through it and I'm like, oh, it wasn't about that at all. Anyhow, flee, my friend, into your solitude. I see you dazed by the noise of the great men, all stung all over by the stings of the little men. Woods and crags know how deep a dignified silence with you. Be like the tree that you love. With its wide branches silently listening, it hangs over the sea. Where solitude ceases, the marketplace begins, and where the marketplace begins, the noise of the great actors and the buzzings of the poisonous flies begins too. I lost my spot. In thank you guys for holding with me. It's choppy, man. It's choppy. Little I'm working without a net. You know, I don't edit the show very much at all, but at least I could, when I'm doing the recorded episodes, I can like stop or use, like, I stop my recorder. I use it like a cough button or whatever. Like, if I gotta like sneeze, or if I gotta burp or something, or if I need to catch my spot, I can like just click the recorder. I can't do it when I'm with you guys here doing it live. So sometimes you're just like, what's he doing? I'm trying to find the place because my mind just wanders off like while I'm reading. And I'm like, oh, wait, where was I? I forgot to ask you guys if you wanted a drink. In the world, even the best things amount to nothing without someone to make a show of them. Great men, the people call these showmen. Little do people comprehend the great that is the creating, but they have a mind for all showmen and actors of great things. Around the inventors, the new values, the world revolves. Invisibly it revolves, but around the actors revolve, and the people and the fame that is the way of the world. The actor, thank you for the words of encouragement, Tim. The actor has spirit, but little conscious of the spirit. Always he has faith in that which he inspires the most faith in himself. And tomorrow he has a new faith, and the day after tomorrow a newer one. He has quick senses like the people, and the capricious moods to overthrow that means to him to prove. To drive frenzy that means to him to persuade, and blood is to him the best of all reasons. A truth that slips into delicate ears alone he calls a lie and nothing. Verily, he believes only in gods who make a big noise in the world. Full of solemn jesters in the marketplace, and the people pride themselves on great men, the masters of the hour. But the hour presses them, so they press you. And from you, too, they want a yes or a no. They're like salesmen. They're like car salesmen. Alas, do you want to place your chair between pro and con? Do not be jealous of these unconditional pressing men, you lover of truth. Never yet has truth hung on the arm of the unconditional. On account of these sudden men, go back to your security. It is only in the marketplace that one is assaulted with yes or no. It is like a car salesman. He just said it. Slow is the experience of all deep wells. Long must they wait before they know what fell into their depth. Far from the marketplace and far from fame happens all that is great. Far from the marketplace and far from fame, the inventors of the new values have always dwelt. Flee, my friend, into your solitude, and I see you stung all over by poisonous flies. Flee where the air is raw and strong. Flee to your solitude. You have lived too close to the small and the miserable, and flee their invisible revenge against you. They are nothing but revenge. No longer raise your arm against them. Numberless they are. Dude, I'm telling you, Nietzsche predicted social justice warriors. I know I've said that probably as many times as I've done these live episodes, but every time I start getting into it, like he's saying, He's like, no, don't raise your arm up to him because they are numberless. Like your boy Zach says, there's 12 lunatics out there driving this whole thing. It is not your lot to shoo flies. Numberless are these small SJW, these progressives. Numberless are these small and miserable creatures, and many a proud building has perished of raindrops and weeds. You are no stone, but you have already become hollow from many drops. You will yet burst from many drops. I see you weary by poisonous flies, bloodied in 100 places, and your pride refuses even to be angry. Blood is what they want from you in all innocence. Their bloodless souls crave blood, and so they sting in all innocence. But you deep one, you suffer too deeply, even from a small wound. And even before you have healed, the same poisonous worm crawls over your hands. You are too proud to kill these greedy creatures. But beware lest it become your downfall that you suffer all their poisonous injustice. They hum around you with their praise, too obtrusive is their praise. They want the proximity of your skin and your blood, and they flatter you as a god or of a devil. And they whine before you, a god or a devil. And what does it matter? They are flatterers and whiners and nothing more. Or the people that leave bad reviews on iTunes. Often they affect charm. They have always been the cleverness of cowards. Indeed, cowards are clever, and they think a lot about you with their petty souls. You always seem problematic to them. Everything that one thinks about a lot becomes problematic. Even the terminology he's using here is SJW terminology. How many times have you seen on YouTube some girl with blue hair going, "This is problematic"? You're seeing it now. You're seeing it now, like literally this week with James Bond. You know, they're casting for the new James Bond movie, and they're casting some, I don't know, black chick or whatever. Because James Bond is problematic. It's James Bond through the Me Too movement. It's problematic. Often they affect charm, but it has always been, the cleverness of cowards. I already said that. Everything that one thinks, problematic. Everything that one thinks about a lot becomes problematic. They punish you. They punish you for all your virtues, and they forgive you entirely your mistakes because you are gentle and just in disposition. You say they are guiltless in their small existence, but their pretty souls think guilt is every great existence. And when you are gentle to them, they still feel despised by you. They return your benefiction with hidden malfections. Your silent pride always runs counter to their taste. I have some experience with something like this, by the way. They are jubilant for it once you are modest enough to be vain. That which we recognize in a person, we also inflame them. Therefore, beware of the small creatures before you they feel small, and their baseness glimmers and glows in invisible revenge. Have you noticed how often they become mute when you stepped among them, and how their strength went from like smoke from a dying fire? Indeed, my friend, you are bad conscience of your neighbors, for they are unworthy of you, and they hate you. Therefore, and would like to suck your blood. Your neighbors will always be poisonous flies, that which is great in you. and that must make them more poisonous and more like flies. Flee, my friend, to your solitude, and where the air is raw and strong, and it is not your lot to shoo flies. Thus spoke Zarathustra. All right, we got one here called on Chastity. I wonder where he's going to go with this. I know he wasn't a drinker. He didn't like alcohol. So that's funny. I wonder if he likes the we'll see. I love the forest. It is bad to live in cities. There too. That's funny, man. There, there are too many. Here we go. There too many are in heat. It is not better to fall into the hands of a murderer and then into the dreams of a woman in heat. And behold, these men, their eyes say it. They know of nothing better on earth than to lie with a woman. I mean, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Mud is at the bottom of their souls, and woe if their mud also has spirit. Would that you were as perfect as animals, at least, but animals have innocence. Do I counsel you to slay your senses? I counsel the innocence of the senses. Do I counsel you on chastity? Chastity is a virtue in some, but almost a vice in many. They abstain, but that bitch sensually leers enviously out of everything they do, even to the heights of their virtue and to the cold regions of their spirit. This beast follows them with her lack of peace. And how nicely the bitch sensuality knows how to beg for a piece of spirit when denied a piece of meat. Do you love tragedies and everything that breaks the heart? But I mistrust your bitch. Your eyes are too cruel, and you search lustfully for sufferers. Is it not merely your lust that has disguised itself and now calls itself pity? In this parable, too, I offer not a few who wanted to drive out their devil have themselves entered into a swine. Ooh, hey, put a little asterisk next to this in your mind, because the next who we got a Testament of Solomon coming up next month, and then the next month after that, we're going to be talking about the swines of Gidra. So here, that's what he's referring to. It's when a Jesus drove a legion of demons out of a dude. He exorcised them. He drove a legion of demons out of a dude into herd. I don't know. Do swine herd? I don't know. Into a bunch of swine. And this is actually the first act of evangelism to Gentiles, because Jesus wandered around preaching to Jews all the time. This was the first time he reached out to Gentiles, and the text doesn't actually say that, but we can ascertain it that they were pig farmers. So what are they doing with these pigs? They're going to wind up eating them, right? So they weren't Jews. It's interesting. Anyhow, just keep on. I can't remember what exact. It's going to be the first or second week of August, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's coming up. Just keep your eyes out for it if you're interested. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Entered into swine. Those whom chastity is difficult should be concealed against it, lest it become their road to hell. The mud and the heat of their souls. Do I speak of dirty things? That is not the worst that could happen. It is not the truth is dirty, but when it is shallow and the lover of knowledge is reluctant to step into its waters, and verily some are chaste through and through, and they are gentler of heart and fonder of laughter and laugh more than you. They laugh chastity too and ask, what is chastity? Is chastity not folly? And yet the folly came to us, not we to it. We offer this guest hostile in heart. Now it dwells with us. May it stay as long as it will. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Whoop. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Learn more at theabracast.com. Get graphic elements, notes, worksheets, and text versions of selected episodes, as well as access to the private Abracast workgroup by signing into the mailing list. Get all that, plus exclusive episodes, by supporting the show and becoming a subscriber at subscribestar.com.
It is an apprentice in the order of the Abracast who now wishes to receive more light by passing to the degree of the fellow craft. He is prepared, worthy, and well qualified, and he is vouched for. Let him enter in the name of the Lord and be received in due form.
Learn more at theabracast.com. Get graphic elements, notes, worksheets, and text versions of selected episodes, as well as access to the private Abracast workgroup by signing into the mailing list. Get all that, plus exclusive episodes, by supporting the show and becoming a subscriber at subscribestar.com.
I've been having a awesome streak of shitty events in my life, and one day I was just like tinkering around with this new app that my podcast host had, and I was like, oh, there's like a go live feature here. So I hit the button, and we started experimenting with going live, and I grabbed this my Nietzsche book. I think it's called Portable? The Portable Nietzsche? And I started talking about Spake, Zarathustra. And I was like, hey man, I'm just going to do, whenever I'm having a shitty day, I'm just going to do one of these live episodes. We're just going to chip away through this gigantic fucking book. Well, I actually had to take a break, but we did three like in a row. And because we were just experimenting with it, I had to use like a different mic. I couldn't get this shit through my sound. Anyhow, it sounds a little bit different, but I'm working on it. I ordered a new part and all this other kind of stuff. So, but with the fellow craft episodes, I would do a series traditionally, all of them except for one. I would do a series, and then I would do like an extra episode where I'm like, this is what I learned from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, or this is what I learned through when I read the first part of Section 1 of Libra 4, or this is what I learned when I read this phallic influences in ancient religions or whatever. So I thought, because I'm throwing these live episodes at you guys, I thought that I could instead flip over to the fellow craft episodes and do the this is what I learned when I read, or this is what I thought of when I read these first 3 or 4 sermons or speeches of Zarathustra. So here's a short preview, and it's all on the one and only fellow craftier of Subscribestar. So I hope you guys dig it. I hope you like it. I hope you come over. I'm actually learning quite a lot, and this episode takes a wild left turn into some stuff. So anyhow, I hope you guys dig this, and beware that there's some more live episodes coming up actually this week. It's coming up fast. If not today, tomorrow. If not, well, I'm probably going to take the 4th off. But there's we're doing Zarathustra this week, live episodes. A good way to know when we're going live is subscribe on Subscribestar, or sign into the mailing list and get access to the work group where I'm publishing all this stuff. So, all right, man, here, check it out. I hope you like it. Bye. Towers out. In the lion stage, the subject of spiritual transformation must engage the dragon into mortal combat. Finish him. One needs to be a lion in spirit to defeat the law of thou shalt and affirm the conditions of one's flourishing. Okay, so let's bounce this up next to the communism thing. The communism, you're carrying the load for everybody. Well, this lion's like, fuck you. I'm doing what I want to do. And even more illustrative, after that statement is made, King Ghidorah comes down and he was like, no bitch, thou shalt. Shooting that gold lightning all over the place with his 3 fucking giant snake heads. And the lion's like, thou shalt? That's what you're saying? I'm saying fuck you. And he does. He's the lion in my makeshift analysis here that I'm just getting into. The lion is the free market. That might be ridiculous. I need to Google search this stuff because it just came to me while I was reading this. Okay, so I stated many times I'm not a philosopher. I'm not very deep, and I'm not a Nietzschean scholar. There is no happiness in fighting dragons all one's life, however. To complete the 3 metamorphoses, the lion must become a child. Maturity for Nietzsche means rediscovering the seriousness one had as a child at play. Okay, so if you've been a listener for any amount of time, I say any amount of time, like it doesn't come up every fucking week, but every once in a while I talk about rites of passage, which came up in earlier to the most burdensome insights and to force ourselves to dwell on them as a rite of passage. So I speak sometimes about our culture having gotten rid of the rites of passage, where you can put on a robe and you can light some weird candles and you can have some kind of initiation ritual where there's creative play going on somewhere in your psychology. This whole thing started when I was reading, when we were going through the Lesser Key of Solomon episodes, and I was like, I got a little bit of pushback on people going, you need to do a disclaimer at the beginning of the... All right. Sorry about that. Whoa. I had to run upstairs to get a refill. I need to buy some time. When we're back, we're going to finish this thing up. I mean, we're not going to finish it up. This book it's huge. Okay, so the next speech is on the friend. When Zarathustra says, there is always this is pretty interesting. There is always one too many around me. Thus thinks the hermit. Always 1 times 1, eventually that makes 2. And I and me are always too deep in conversation. How could one. I'm sorry, I feel like my mic is too close. One. Could one stand that if there were no friends? For the hermit, the friend is always the third person. The third is the cork that prevents the conversation of the two from sinking into the depths. Alas, there are too many depths for all the hermits. Therefore, they go long. So, for a friend and his height. Our faith in others betrays in what respect we would like to have faith in ourselves. Our longing for a friend is our betrayer, and often love is only a device to overcome envy. And often one attack that makes an enemy in order to conceal that one is an open attack. At least be my enemy. Thus speaks true reverence, which does not dare ask for friendship. If one wants to have a friend, one must also want to wage war for him. And to wage war, one must be capable of being an enemy. In a friend, one should honor the enemy. Can you go close to your friend without going over to him? If a friend, one should have one's best enemy. You should be closest to him with your heart when you resist him. You should not want to put anything for your friend. Should it be an honor for your friend that give yourself to him as you are? What sends you to the devil for that? And who makes no secret of himself, enrages. So much reason have you for fearing nakedness. Indeed, if you were gods, you might be ashamed of your clothes. You cannot groom yourself to beautifully for your friend. You can't groom yourself too beautifully for your friend. For you shall have him an arrow and a longing for the overman. Have you ever seen your friend asleep and found out how he looks? What the fuck is he talking about? What is the face of your friend anyway? Is it your own face in a rough and imperfect mirror? Have you ever seen your friend asleep where you're not shocked that your friend looks like that? Oh, my friend, man is something that must be overcome. A friend should be a master at guessing and keeping still. You must not want to see everything your dream should betray to you what your friend does while awake. Your compassion should be a guess to know first whether your friend wants compassion. Perhaps what he loves in you is the unbroken eye in the glance of eternity. Compassion for the friend should conceal itself under a hard shell, and you shall break a tooth on it. In that way you shall have delicacy and sweetness. You are pure air and solitude and bread and medicine for your friend. You cannot loosen their own chains and can nevertheless redeem their friends. Are you a slave? Then you cannot be a friend. Are you a tyrant? Then you cannot be a friend. All too long have slaves and tyrants been concealed in woman. Therefore, woman is not yet capable of friendship, for she knows only love. Tim asked me, don't I watch my friends sleep? And no, I don't. I don't. I actually was like, I was going to make a comment that this sounds homoerotic to me. And then he gets into this thing where he's bashing these women. Women are not yet capable of friendship. Women are still cats and birds, or at best cows. A woman is not yet capable of friendship. But tell me, you men, who among you is capable of friendship? And alas, behold your poverty, you men, you meet your and the meanness of your souls. As much as you give the friends, I will give even my enemy, and I shall not be any the poorer for it. There is comradeship, let there be friendship. Thus spake Zarathustra. And we're gonna get through a lot tonight. We're gonna. This next one is called "On the 1,001 Goals." I think that I have a feeling of where this is going. Tim, do you watch your friends sleep? On the 1,001 Goals, Zarathustra saw many lands and many people. Thus he discovered the good and the evil of many peoples. And Zarathustra is watching a lot of people sleeping, apparently. He found no greater power on earth than good and evil. No people could live without first esteeming. Tim's watching his friend sleep right now. No people could live without first esteeming, but if they want to preserve themselves, then they must not esteem as their neighbor esteems. Much that was good to one people was scorn and infamy to another. Thus I found it. Much I found called evil here, and decked out with purple honors there. Never did one neighbor understand the other. Ever was his soul amazed at the neighbor's delusion and weakness. That Tim said he fell asleep while we were drinking. I'm pretty sure that means he passed out. Lightweight. Here, a tablet of good hangs over every people. Behold, it is the tablet of their overcomings, and behold, it is their voice of their will to power. Praiseworthy is whatever seems difficult to people, and whatever seems indispensable and difficult, it is called good, and whatever liberates even out of the deepest need, the rarest and most difficult, that they call holy. Whatever makes them rule and triumph and shine into the awe and envy of their neighbors, that is to them the high. On first, the measure, the meaning of all things. Verily, my brother, once you have recognized the need in the land and the sky and the neighbor of people, you may also guess the law of overcoming, of their overcoming, and why they climb to their hope on this ladder. You shall always be first and excel all others. Your jealous soul shall love no one unless it be the friend that made the soul of the Greeks quiver. Thus he walked the path of his greatness. To speak the truth and to handle the bow and the arrow well, that seemed both dear and difficult to the people who gave me my name, the name which is both dear and difficult to me. To honor father and mother and to follow their will to the root of one's soul. This was the tablet of overcoming that other people hung up over themselves and became powerful and eternal thereby. To practice loyalty and for the sake of loyalty, to risk honor and blood even for evil and dangerous things. With this teaching, and other people conquered themselves, and through this self-conquest they became pregnant and heavy with great hopes. Verily, men gave themselves all their good and evil, and verily, they did not take it. They did not find it, nor did they come to them as a voice from heaven. Only man placed values in things to preserve himself, and he alone created. I gotta find my pen. I've got to mark this. I'm gonna use this later for something else. Oh, sorry that you guys have to put up with it. All right. To esteem is to create, and hear this, you creators. God, I'm falling apart. Esteeming its Esteeming itself is of all esteemed things the most esteemable treasure. Throughout esteeming alone there is their value. And without esteeming, the nut of the existence would be hollow. Hear this, you creators. Change of values. That is the change of creators. Whoever must be a creator must always annihilate. First, people were creators, and only in later times, individuals. Verily, the individual himself is still the most recent creation. Once people hung a tablet of good over themselves, love which would rule and love which would obey have together created such tablets. The delight in the herd is more ancient than the delight in the ego. And as long as the good conscious is identified with the herd, only the bad conscious says I. Verily, the clever go, and the loveless go, that desires its own profit, and the profits of the many. That is not the origin of the herd, but it is their going under. This is the term that Nietzsche says. He uses the term going under at the first, when it's in the story section of the book, and he's living on his mountain, and he goes under to start like his, I don't know, his evangelicism. He goes under to start preaching. He goes on. That's what he calls it. He comes off his mountain and he goes under to start preaching to people. And when he starts preaching to people, what he's trying to tell them is that they must, being people is okay. It's like being an animal. Being a man is like an animal. You must become the overman. So going under is this. Yeah, it's like a mission of evangelicism about becoming an overman. All right, there we go. For those of you that have not listened to the whole series, but it's going under. Good and evil have always been created by lovers and creators, and the fire of love glows, and the names of all the virtues, and the fire of wrath. Well, I mean, so Tim asked, how does one become the overman? And I guess that's what all these speeches are all about, is he's teaching us what rules you have to accept or discard to become the overman. Like earlier this evening, he was talking about the flies in the marketplace, and basically what he's saying is, I think, like I said, I'm not a philosopher, I'm not a Nietzschean scholar, I'm just reading this book, but it seems to me that the lesson of the speech of the flies in the marketplace is understand that people trying to impose their will on you or trying to get you to do something, whether it's to buy something or something, anything that people are trying to get you to do, is they're insignificant. And instead of swatting them, you should just ignore them. So I actually get annoyed by this. I get annoyed at being marketed to like all the time, Tim. So earlier this evening, I stopped to get gas on my way home, and I was so annoyed. I was like, I'm actually going to drive to the gas station down the street because I realized that the gas pump had a TV built into it, and it was selling me things. They were trying to get me to buy some music or something. And I think what he's trying to say is like, hey, just, you can't do anything about this. If you swat one of these flies of the marketplace away, there's going to be more. Like, you're never going to get away from being marketed to when you're trying to do something as mundane as pump your gas in my scenario. So when I was reading that, what I was thinking is like, I guess what Zarathustra is trying to say is that I'm not going to be able to get away from it. In the future, all gas pumps are going to be marketing to me. So I should learn to let it go. Like, I should learn to just ignore it and let them bite me and just be like, all right, bitch, fine, fuck yourself. So I think the whole point of all of these speeches that we're going to be reading through is how we get to be the overman. Like I said, I haven't read this whole book. But to me, I think that's what, if there's any Nietzschean scholars out there that want to correct me or step on me or sting me like a bunch of poison flies, maybe you guys could help Tim out. I can only give you my perspective, Tim, is that each one of these little lessons has an aspect of, getting rid of your, figuring out what lessons or what parts of your life that you need to get rid of, or what things you need to adopt to kind of become this ubermensch or this overman. And it's a question that I pondered when I did the Subscribe Star, the Fellow Craft episode, Lessons I've Learned from the Spake Zarathustra Part 1, where I'm just going through and I'm like trying to figure out the lessons in each of the stories. So that's going to be something that goes on over there at Subscribe Star. I know, man. YouTube, Tim says, God, I can't stand that. That's why I can't watch TV or YouTube. That stuff, people are always cramming in their shit on me. I can't stand it. Well, me too. YouTube has gotten so much worse. I mean, they were bad putting ads in the beginning all the time, but now they just jam them in all the time. And unfortunately, my podcast host will do that unless I pick where they can put the ads in. I mean, I'm not going to front and say that I don't get ad revenue from it. I do get ad revenue from it. But if I don't choose where I put them, where I choose to put the ads, they will just throw it in like in the middle of a fucking sentence. Like, people will be talking and then all of a sudden it'll just be like, boom, hey, why don't you buy some fucking snow tires or whatever, like whatever. Anyhow, I hope I answered your question. Let's get back to this. I've totally lost my spot here. Let me see. I think that I already read this part, but just, I'm a completionist, so I'm just going to do it again. Good and evil have always been created by lovers and creators, and the fire of love glows in the names of all the virtues, and the fire of wrath. Zarathustra saw that many lands and many people no greater power did Zarathustra find on earth than the works of the lovers. Quote, good and quote, evil are their names. Verily a monster in the power of the praising and the censoring. And tell me who will conquer it, O brothers, and tell me who will throw a yoke over the 1,000 necks of this beast. 1,000 goals have there been so far. For there have been 1,000 peoples, and only the yoke of the 1,000 necks is still lacking. One goal is lacking. Humanity still has no goal. But tell me, my brothers, if humanity still lacks a goal, the humanity itself is still not lacking too. So, Tim, I would say to you that humanity's goal should be to become the overman. So you don't get the yoke thrown on you, son. Thus spoke Zarathustra. We're going to end here for this evening. Thank you guys for tuning in for another live Zarathustra episode. I like these. I like taking a pause in the middle of the week and just connecting and reading through this weird fucking shit. And I hope you guys like it too. I could see like Tim says thanks, Dad. So I know that a lot of people don't listen to this live, and I would encourage you to listen to it live. As you can see, the chat function works pretty good. You know, I think it would be a cool opportunity, for me, for us, not only just to make a connection, but just to be like, yo, what's up, bros? What's up, everybody? Tim, thank you very much. He's kind of been like a beta tester as I've been doing this, like coming in, talking about, hey man, your mic's fucked up. You sound like Max Headroom in some spots. So, I really appreciate that. And, if, more of you guys want to make time on your Wednesday evenings, just an hour of your time, that's cool. But if not, then keep catching them as they post. Like, there's a weird thing that happens. Like, on the live streams, I think the way that I understand that it's working is it's only coming through one ear speaker. It's only coming through one speaker if you have a stereo system. So what I do when I get done with the live thing is I go and I duplicate the tracks and I make it more like the regular shows and then re-upload the audio file. So, there might be weird technical issues if you're listening to it live, rather if you're listening to it after it's live, like an hour after it's live. But I mean, those are easy things. It takes me only a little bit of time to fix, but I would like to get more people to weigh in on this stuff, especially people that are more knowledgeable about Nietzsche or Zarathustra, because, I'm reading this in real life, like in real time. So with that being said, Tim, peace out, everybody. I will see you next week. There will be, what's going on? Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. There will be a encore presentation of the American Sermon dropping. I believe it's totally timely. It's about pilgrims and American socialism. I think it's going to drop maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, whatever. I'll see what happens. And then the work group is going good. I've been posting a lot of the designs, a lot of the early inks for the tarot cards up. I'm designing a set of tarot cards. I don't know if you guys know that. And I have a work group on Slack set up. If you sign into the mailing list, you get access to it. Yeah, all right. Anyhow, that's it. She'll tell you all about it. My voice actress girl will tell you all about it. I'm John. This has been the Abracast. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Learn more at theabracast.com. Get graphic elements, notes, worksheets, and text versions of selected episodes, as well as access to the private Abracast workgroup by signing into the mailing list. Get all that, plus exclusive episodes, by supporting the show and becoming a subscriber at subscribestar.com.